Hello and happy Wednesday. Today on the Busy Bride podcast, I'm coming to you solo with a new series all about wedding trends. And to kick it all off, we're going to be talking about getting ready outfits for brides. I am so excited for this new series and for this topic specifically, so let's get right into it. Hello and welcome to the Busy Bride podcast. I'm your host, Gabriella Marie, and I created this podcast to help you research vendors and learn valuable advice as you plan the most special and true to you wedding day of your dreams. Let's get started. Okay, so I want to start this episode off talking about my new series of wedding trends. Up until now, I kind of altered between like three main series for the podcast. I had wedding tip episodes where I come to you solo, talk about things I've learned in the wedding industry as a photographer, vendor spotlights where I chat with local vendors about their niche and what makes them amazing. And then I also sat down to chat with newlywed brides and just rehash their wedding day, their planning process, things they loved, things maybe they didn't love so much. And it's been so much fun, and I'm going to continue doing all three of those things. However, this meant those three topics, it meant that I ended up recording more than one wedding tip episode a month. And I feel like that's just a lot of information kind of constantly feeding your brain, if that makes sense. Like sometimes I'm in the mood to listen to something more sugary instead of educational, like I have my list of podcasts where I'm like, okay, this is a sugary podcast. If my brain is kind of like maxed out, I just want to listen, turn my brain off and have fun. And then I have my podcast where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to learn and grow and be a better person or business owner. And I would love for this podcast to have episodes of both kinds. So episodes where you are learning, you are figuring out ways to plan your wedding and take away some stress and just make the day truly yours. But then also episodes where you can just kind of kick back and be like, okay, this is fun to listen to. So that's what this wedding trend series is going to be. And in this series, I'm going to bring to the table wedding trends I've seen either personally at weddings I've photographed, so that's going to be like one kind of trend, or things I've seen online since I am perpetually on wedding Instagram. Like, it's crazy. I've been on wedding Instagram for years now, ever since I joined the wedding photography community. It's just been weddings, which is lovely. But I am always seeing the new trends. And so some of these trends might be niche, some might be more generic. I would just love for this series to fill you with fun ideas for things that you might want to include in your wedding, or some trends that you definitely do not want to include. Like you hear that and you're like, oh, that is not for me. So there's like no need to take notes for these episodes. They'll be more conversational than educational. They'll just be a fun way to chat. So the first ever topic for this wedding trend series is going to be bridal getting ready outfits. It's super common to do the white PJs or the white robe, maybe with your name monogrammed on the back, the fuzzy Mrs. slippers. But when these outfits are worn, I feel like it's rare for brides to want a ton of pictures taken while they're in those outfits. And as a photographer, I feel like that's a missing piece. Like you could be missing out on some really fun and beautiful portraits during the getting ready part of the day. And that part of the day helps tell the story of your wedding in the photo album. And plus, I personally think that on your wedding day, you should feel like the queen of the castle, more than happy to be photographed at any point of the day, like feeling $1,000,000, feeling fly, feeling good. So why not go all out on your getting ready outfit while you're sipping on mimosas and singing Taylor Swift with your best friends and you're feeling great? Hey, I wanted to take a quick pause from today's episode to talk about a brand I absolutely love, Artifact Uprising. If you're in the midst of planning your wedding, you know just how many little details there are to think about. And one thing I always recommend to my couples is investing in beautiful, high quality stationery that truly reflects the style of your big day. And that's where Artifact Uprising comes in. From stunning save the dates to elegant thank you cards to custom photo books filled with your engagement photos that you can use as a guest book at your wedding, Artifact Uprising makes it easy to add a personal touch throughout your wedding journey. And as a photographer, I love the way their designs complement beautiful photos and their paper quality is top notch. So here's a little something just for you. If you use the code Gabriella15 at checkout, you'll get 15% off your order. Whether you're curating the perfect invite suite or putting together a custom guest book, Artifact Uprising has you covered with gorgeous, easy to design options that make your wedding look and feel even more special. So head over to artifactuprising.com, use code Gabriella15, GABRIELLA15 for 15% off, and start creating something beautiful today. Now let's get back to today's episode. So, what I mean by a bridal getting ready outfit is something that you're not going to just use on your wedding day and then probably never use again. So, like a short little robe with your name monogrammed in the back. You might wear white pages again, so I guess it's that's not a good way to describe it. But something where like you're like, yeah, this is cute. It's like white, and my girls or my brides people are in like other color pajamas, and it's fine, but I'm ready to get dressed. And I know you're excited to get dressed, but what if you were wearing a getting ready outfit where you're like, yeah, I look amazing right now, or yeah, I can totally see myself wearing this like years down the line. um and the thing I have in mind, it's kind of hard to describe on a podcast, but I will link in the show notes, is like sort of a nightgown, which sounds like a grandma would wear it, but that's not it's not what I mean. They make these really cute silk nightgowns where it's like spaghetti straps, very loose, and it goes down to like mid thigh, but some of them are really, really cute, even though they're loose and comfortable. So that paired with like a beautiful statement piece robe. And by robe, I don't mean like bathroom robe or hotel room robe with like the fuzzy little tie. I mean statement piece. So picture like sheer material, maybe with some lace or some of those little like chiffon flowers that they attach to the sheer material, some pearls woven throughout. You can have some with like really big puffy sleeves, um, and maybe even a train. So there's some that goes down to your ankles, but then there's some that have a really nice long train, and those are really beautiful. And you can pair those, you could wear slippers with those, or you could wear like a really cute pair of shoes, because that's another excuse to get another cute pair of shoes that are comfortable. Again, this is all comfortable, it's beautiful yet comfortable. But like, you would want to take so many pictures in that, and we could so like get you like looking out the window. We could take you away and do some like fun portraits with the robe. And then even the getting ready pictures with your bridesmaids or bridespeople, like those will be also fun too. And then it can be like, look at you, girl. Yeah, so like I just think this is a really cool idea. And I first came across this wedding trend while photographing a beautiful spring wedding at Aldi Mansion last year. The bridal party got their hair and makeup done at the salon, so I ended up meeting them at the venue after they were all done up. But that meant that there was extra downtime after I did their flat lay detail photos before the bride had to be dressed. So they're just kind of chilling, hanging out. And instead of rocking up in, PJs and slippers, which again, nothing wrong with that, but instead of that, this bride was wearing a stunning, like almost cape-like robe with like big fuzzy sleeves, and then the end of the train was fuzzy as well to kind of match there. And then she wore these little black cat heels. I think that's the term for it. They're like really teeny tiny heels, slip-on shoes with the fuzzy top, and then she wore like a short silk nighttime gown. So she looked incredible. I had never seen a bride rock up in an outfit like that other than PJs for her wedding day. Now my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my gosh, I freaking love this. And everyone was hyping her up too, which was so much fun. And I felt my creativity just like skyrocket, because I was like, oh my gosh, she looks amazing. That I've never seen this before. Like, I am so filled with ideas for photos I can take to encapsulate that moment and the vibe and just the overall hypeness of the situation. So I ended up taking, I took some standard getting ready candids, just like any other wedding. But I also found myself taking some more candid portraits of the bride as everybody else is kind of getting ready around her, getting things together. But she was sitting in this really like regal looking chair, chatting with her bridespeople before getting dressed into her wedding dress. And because she had this outfit where she was like, dressed to the nines, even though she was super comfy cozy, I found myself like taking a bunch more candids. And I love the portraits I took of her. And then before she got dressed, I was like, can we just like a couple minutes take some portraits of you in this freaking amazing getting ready robe? And she's like, yes. So in the getting ready space at this wedding, there were these beautiful ironwork windows in the getting ready suite. So I took her to this like almost floor to ceiling window with like iron, cross hatches, whatever they're called. And I had her stand and like have her hand up on the side of the wall, and she looked out the window with her other hand kind of like holding her robe. Oh my gosh. So good. Love those photos. And I would think, I mean, I haven't point blank asked her, but I would think it added some joy to the bride's experience of the day. I know she loved those photos of taking them. And so I also loved providing those photos in her wedding gallery too, like an extra like, yo, look at you getting ready. Like you're about to get married, you look amazing. And I'm sure her husband also loved those pictures too. But yeah, I just loved it, and I would love to see more of this in 2025 and 2026 for brides going all out with their getting ready outfits. So I did some research before this episode. I was like, where do you even find these? And surprisingly, I found so many really pretty bridal robes on Etsy of all places. Some of them had puffy sleeves, some of them were interwoven with pearls, some had a really long train, some kind of went down to your ankles, but there were so many options and they all looked so beautiful and princess-like and so much better in my opinion than the short robes that sometimes like they're fine. I feel for the brides and the bridesmaids who wear the short robes and then they sit down for a picture and the robes like ride up and they're like, you crossing your legs and kind of feeling self-conscious. I don't want you feeling self-conscious in any way, shape, or form on your wedding day. I want you to feel comfortable and confident and like a powerhouse the whole entire day. So that's kind of why this episode is for. Like, I want you to feel amazing. So that's kind of the kind of robes I'm talking about, the long like statement piece ones. And I also found some really cute silk nightgowns on Petite Plume. I think that's how you say it. I'll link the website in the bio along with some of my favorite robes on Etsy. But all to say, long robes for getting ready as statement pieces paired with cute little silk nightgowns are 1000% the way to go. And I hope to see more of this fun trend in all the weddings I photograph in the coming years. And that's that for the first episode of the new Wedding Trends series. Short one, but hopefully gave you some ideas for what you can wear during the getting ready portion of your day. I'm sure there are so many outfit ideas that I did not even touch on, but I hope this gives you ideas and also like permission to be like, you know what? Yeah, I can splurge on myself for the getting ready part of the day. I can get this like fancy schmancy robe instead of getting the one that I've seen everybody else wear, because again, it's your wedding day, so why the freak not? We're staying PG here, guys. Yeah. So anyway, if you loved this episode, as always, go click the follow button so you don't miss any more like this, especially now that there are lots more wedding trend episodes coming just like this one. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you got something out of this episode, and I appreciate your time. Now, go hug your person, and I will see you next Wednesday.